Hi guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Before I do anything, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. We have a lot of important information coming up. But today I wanted to talk about the residency process for Italy. How do you get Italian residency? Because a lot of people think you can just come in and be here. And that's not the case. There is a whole process and it's a little bit complicated. So I'm going to try to make it simple. What I'm doing is I've pulled all the data from the Studio Legale Meta website. They have a page there on the elective residence visa, which is very important. I'm going to put a link down below, and I want you to go there and print that off and study it, because I'm only going to touch the surface, just kind of give you a timeline. But there's a lot of important information that's there that I'm probably going to leave out. So go check that out. Now, first of all, one of the most important things is you can't come to Italy and apply for it there. You must apply for your elective residence visa at your home consulate. Now, find out which one is your home consulate. For us, it's San Francisco. We would have to go to San Francisco consulate. We would have to do the applications and everything there. Once you've discovered your home consulate, then you're going to want to print off the application form and complete it. Don't sign it because you'll have to do that in front of the consular agent, but you get the form and you complete it. Another super important thing is when you complete the form or forms, if you're doing for your family, make sure you have the names exactly as they are on your passport. Very important. Now, when you're making your consular appointment, make it between 2 to 4 months in advance, because it takes a little time to turn around. And while it's turning around, they will keep your passport because that's needed for the process. For your appointment, you're going to bring 2 passport photos, the same as they are on your passport, full frontal, same thing you would do for a passport photo. You're going to bring your passport, which must be valid at least 3 months beyond the date that the visa is expected to expire. And probably one of the more important, certainly the more contentious issues is the proof of income. You do need proof of passive income in order to become a resident of Italy. And passive income, we're talking about rental income, we're talking about Social Security counts as passive income, dividends, pension, that kind of thing. Anything that's reasonably expected to go on indefinitely is considered passive income. It cannot be work income or remote work income or anything like that. Very important. Now, it gets a little sticky here when you start asking how much rental or how much passive income do I need. It used to be that a single person needed to show 31,000 euros in passive income, a married couple 38,000 euros in passive income, and for each dependent child another 5% on top of that. But the consulates have changed, and some of the consulates individually, because the consular agents have a certain amount of authority, are interpreting the law differently. So you might end up in a consulate where they don't just require 31,000 for a married or 38,000 for a married couple. They might require 61,000 or 62,000. It all depends. There are certain ways that they look at it and they kind of mishmash the numbers. It used to be you showed up and showed your passive income proof, and there it was at 31,000. Now they do things like requiring, 62,000 for a married couple, or deducting your monthly payments that you have on a regular basis. Who knows what they're going to do? So be ready for that. I think if you plan for 62,000 per year passive income, you're going to be very safe. Beyond that, it's sort of a crapshoot. However, the consulates know how they're going to interpret that law, so it's very good to call up the consulate and find out exactly what are they going to look at, because you don't want to waste your time compiling all this information and going down there and being disappointed. Now, you're also going to need birth certificates and marriage certificates. They must be certified, translated, and they must be verified with an apostille. An apostille is basically a document that takes one document created in one country and makes it legal in the other country. There's stuff behind that. I'm not going to go into it. That's what it does. Now, another thing you're going to need is proof of medical insurance. It's going to be for 1 year, and it's going to be for 30,000 euros worth of coverage for things like prescriptions, doctor visits, hospitals, ambulance, and that kind of thing. But luckily, it's only for 1 year. And Nick and his guys know the companies that can provide that for you. It's not that expensive. You also have to have proof of housing. Now, if you own a house over there, you can bring your deed with you, the atto, the deed. You can bring that with you, and that proves that you have a place to stay over there. Otherwise, you're going to need a rental contract, and that rental contract must be recorded with the comune, the local comune in Italy. Now, that makes things a little bit more difficult. I will say that we have several rental properties that we can rent out and have rented out for people who are there to get their residency. We have a special contract that we have with them that is approved by the municipalities, and it gives you the option. So if you find a house that you want to buy after you've signed the contract and you've gotten your residency, you can break the contract by mutual agreement with us. If you have bought a house or you found another place you want to rent or whatever, we can do that. So know that we do have that option available. We have a couple in Mola de Bari, we have some in Santa Domenica Talau, we have Scalea, and now we're getting one online in Tuscany. So that gives you a lot of options. You're also going to need 116 euros for the application fee. And do expect fingerprints to be taken at the consulate because as of January 2025, that is required. Now that's just the elective residence visa. It will expire after 365 days from the date it starts. And the date it starts many times is the date of your departure to Italy. So you have a year. However, once you arrive in Italy, you have 8 days to apply for your permission to stay visa, your Permesso di Soggiorno. That you have to apply for. It's normally good for about 1 to 2 years after you've applied for it and gotten it. And then every 1 or 2 years, you have to re-up it. You have to renew it. Make sure you renew it at least 60 days in advance of the date that it's going to expire. After 5 years of living in Italy and having your Permesso di Soggiorno that you've renewed every 1 to 2 years, you can then apply for a long-term permission to stay visa. So there's a lot to it, as you see. Those are the steps, but definitely go down into the details section and go to that website, print that off, study it up, and really get it going because it can be quite a process. Now, Nick and his guys have seen all of the things that the various different consulates have asked for. They have a lot of information on that. We have a coupon. If you want to use Nick's services, you can write to us and we'll send you a coupon. It gives you an extra 15 minutes of legal advice time with Nick or whoever when you use the coupon. So yeah, so definitely I would minimally probably make an appointment for a consultation with them, find out what you need, find out what they think of your consulate, and then possibly even hire them to get these packets. What they do is they send guys to the consulates with a packet of information. So if the consulate asks for this, bam, here's this packet. Here's this packet if they ask for that, so that you're ready and you don't have to keep making new consulate appointments. It can be a bit of a process. I've heard all kinds of things. I've heard people just cruising through, and I've heard people having a rough time. So this will get you started. Definitely study up, get it going. Do this before you do anything about moving or retiring to Italy. And above all, do not go to Italy thinking you can do it there. So there you go, guys. I hope that helps. I'll see you very soon.